And we are live. Well, it finally happened. It finally happened. Why do I have my headphones on? I don't know. But it finally happened. We have Grok. Grok is now inside of Tesla, which is a very big deal. And it changes a lot of things. I will talk about it in today's spaces. Guys, can you hear me? Let me know if you guys can hear me on YouTube. If everything sounds going good. Sometimes it's on and off. It's weird. Looks good. I think audio is good. But yes, it's happening, and I'm very excited to see what the space is going to be. What we're going to talk about. Well, of course, we're going to be talking about Tesla, Elon, other developments that's been going on, and very interesting things. We'll be starting in about 10 to 15 minutes. So I want to show you guys this one video. I do need my headphones for so you guys can hear. Make sure you guys smash that like button and hit subscribe if you haven't already. Come on, let's go. So I want to show you guys this one video on what exactly is going on with this Grok thing. Just listen to it. It's amazing. 23 seconds.
What would you do on your first date with Optimus?
I'd take that shiny bastard to a dive bar, get it drunk on motor oil, and see if it can dance without short-circuiting the jukebox.
It's
I'd probably
unhinged,
end
by
up
the way.
riding its hydraulic arm like a mechanical bull while it whispers sweet nothings in binary. Then, if it's lucky, I'd let it plug into my circuits for a little dirty interfacing under the neon lights.
What would you do on your first date?
That's insane. I mean, that's insane. That's unhinged mode. Yeah, that's crazy. Tesla is also saying to enable and use Grok tap launch app launcher and then Grok press and hold voice button on your steering wheel. So pretty much it's like Siri or Alexa, I would bet, but it's you're interacting with the flipping car, which is just insane. And these are some of the things that I'll probably go over in a separate video. But people who are trying FSD are amazed by it, which again, this is something that you don't want to sleep on. You don't want to sleep on. Sheesh. How you doing, Ariel? Going with a little celebration indeed. Hey, man, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. It's awesome. It's awesome. But this is a big deal, guys, because this is just the beginning. I don't think this is the full thing that's on Teslas yet. I think the Grok, once it's fully integrated and to the highest advancement in Tesla, that's when things are going to be insane. You're pretty much sitting in an AI. You're being you're being transported in AI. It's just a cabin. It's insane. It's insane. Like you don't have to drive anymore. The car will drive itself, and then you can have a crazy interaction with Grok. It's crazy. I do want to show one thing here. Software update, 2025 software update. Rolling out shortly. Here's what to expect. Grok Beta US AMD. Grok now available directly in your Tesla, requires premium connectivity or Wi-Fi connection. Grok is currently in beta and does not issue commands to your car, not yet. Existing voice commands remained unchanged. Things that you can expect is light sync, any Model 3Y 2026 and Cybertruck. Accent lights now respond to music, and you can also choose the match. You can also choose to match the lights to the album color for more immersive effect. That's pretty, and that's a nice touch. All right. Audio settings update, you can create and save multiple presets to match your listening preferences. Dash cam update, you can zoom or adjust the playback speed. Also gets Cybertruck also gets the updated dash cam viewer app. That's cool. Charging info at arrival. So I mean, these are some of the things that are also rolling out. Onboarding guide. If this is your first Tesla, the onboarding guide will tell you how to use it, controls, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it would be cool if those with premium connectivity could download it without being on Wi-Fi. So they're just rolling it out slowly. And some of these, I mean, I'll be honest, some of these stuff seems basics to me. I don't think that's what Grok usually does. But this is just a software update. This is not a Grok update. But The fact that you can really use Grok and stuff like that. I want to see more videos of these. So if you're using a Tesla and you are using Grok, please, I don't know, do something with it. Post it on, YouTube, or not YouTube, on X, and I'll repost it because I want to see what this thing can does. It's very, very interesting. Of course, the beginning stages, we're not going to see anything um, crazy happen, but it's a Grok, man. It's a big deal. It's the first ever car or AI or robot on wheels that has become more of a robot on wheels. It's insane. We have cars driving themselves, and then we're gonna get this Grok thing in it. It's insane. I'm very excited to see what the guys are gonna say on Spaces today. I'm sorry if I'm feeling a little bit tired today. What do you mean no sound? Are you serious? No, I can hear it. My backup here, it's I can hear it. Everyone can hear me. Yeah, I can hear. Joshua, I think you need to adjust your audio because yeah, I think you need to adjust your audio. Yeah, it's fine. See, John Smith, um, still no sound. What do you mean still no sound? I can hear it from my playback here as well. It's okay, guys. Someone tell him in the comments, change your audio setting. It's, you guys are saying it's fine, it's okay, you guys can hear me. So it looks like the problem is we have sound, right? We have sound. So just adjust your setting, man. Well, I mean, you can't even hear me. But anyways, we good. You guys are good. So Joshua, I don't know if now, sorry, it was connected to my headphone. Bro, now for that, you have to smash that like button and hit subscribe if you haven't already. Come on, man. I love you. I love you. All right. In my opinion, Grok4 probably proves autonomous FSD in any driving condition as well within AI's reach, and edge cases are only a matter of time before we solve them. Yeah, I mean, there's only really a handful of them before it's all it all gets fixed. In my point of view, this FSD thing is solved. It's ready to go. It's ready to go scale. So yeah, I think we're gonna be great. I think we're gonna be great. You're right, Pejjy is good. Sound is okay. Mark, thank you. Likes don't bite. Exactly, guys. Likes don't bite. We're starting the Spaces in about 5 minutes, so it's gonna be awesome. I can't wait to see what everyone has to say. And if you guys want to come in and speak, just make sure you guys go to my X. I will be reposting it right now, so you guys will be able to. Well, I've already reposted it anyways, but you guys can just click on listen and then hit request, and then we can talk. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna have an awesome time. But this Grok4, man, I'm telling you, it's gonna be, man, I can only see the possibilities of the things that you can do with this in the car. It's gonna be awesome. It changes everything. It really does. And that's another product that Tesla can sell, which is awesome. Pejjy, I hope you get a Robotaxi invite and you go to Texas. Bro, even if I do get a Robotaxi invite, I won't be able to go to Texas this year. It sucks me to say it. I really had my hopes to go to Texas this year, but next year for sure. Next year for sure. Man, I really want to visit Texas. Like, I really, really want to visit Texas. I'm like, eager to visit Texas. You know what I mean? Even without the Robotaxi invite, really want to see Texas. Very eager. One way or the other, I'm coming there. I'm coming. So yeah, let's see. I think we'll be starting soon. Let me ask Fa. Hello, Fa. Come on. We can start. Let's see if we will start or not. In the meantime, until I get a message from her, we will just hang out here. Just you and I. If there's anything you guys want to talk about, we can talk about. I am dead. I'm tired. Today's like 55 degrees here in Kuwait. The heat really takes away your energy. It's freaking. It's it's tough. It's just ridiculous. Come stay with me in Texas, my friend. I have 4 Tesla. You can use one. Oh, sheesh. Gucci Sasha, thank you for that. Thank you. I live in Miami, and I hope it comes to Miami soon. Ron DeSantis, our governor, is good friends with Elon. Oh no, it's coming. It's coming. Wherever Waymo is, Tesla's gonna be there. That's the first step. I think California, Arizona are coming, and then I think it's going to be other states and cities like mm, Florida would be one of them. All that kind of stuff. Yeah, dude. No worries. I'll make an announcement before coming down to Texas. I think we can. I think it'd be cool if we can like rent out like a bar or something, get everyone there for like a few hours or something. I mean, I don't drink alcohol or anything. I'll have like a mocktail or something like that, whatever. But we'll have a nice time there. We'll have a good time there. All of us in like a bar with all all the Tesla investors and stuff. I think that'd be a really cool event that we can have. You know, that'd be cool. Really looking forward to that. Waymo isn't in Miami yet, but it is not driverless. They're using people in the front driver's seat. Okay, so that's pretty much what. Oh, sorry about that. That's pretty much what Tesla's doing in Austin, Texas. So why wouldn't it be in Miami? But again, not every Robotaxi that rolls out when Tesla rolls it out, I don't think it's feasible to have a teleoperator right next to them because that's expensive, right? So I think we're gonna get to a point where it's gonna be like 2-to-1, 3-to-1, 4-to-1 operators, and then the thing is gonna be so flawless. I don't think we even need to have any operators because Tesla is in the passenger seat. When is Austin Geo going to expand? This weekend, today or tomorrow. So we'll see. Their driverless themselves. They're driving themselves currently, just mapping. Yeah, true. It looks like we're starting, guys. Looks like we're starting. Let me add this to the stage. Let's see if we can do this. Connecting. There we go. Let's go. All right, we are in. 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 Let's do this. Waiting for her to invite me to be co-host. There we go. Join co-host. Accepted. There we go. People are coming in. People are coming in. Good stuff. Hope you guys are ready. Hello, hello.
Happy Saturday, Pejjy. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yes, but you sound like a little bit robot. One more time.
I hear like a robot.
No, you're good.
Okay,
You're
good.
good.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm using the sexy mic, so should be good.
You sound a lot better. This is a new microphone.
No, it's an old microphone. I always use this microphone for X.
I need help set up my studio. I want to have fun with you. I want to like talk Trump with you.
Oh my God. No, it's easy setting up studio. It's easy. I mean, you just gotta, um, plug in some plugs and you're good to go.
I need to find a space that I can laugh and my kid don't hear me. But happy Saturday. Excited. EP 36. Now we have Grok4 is melting my brain, my friend. And yesterday, Tesla India. Oh my God, it's a lot going on. Hey, Pejjy, can I ask you the first question?
Let's do it.
What do you feel about American Party?
Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't even know. How is that coming along? I don't know what the process is. I mean, I know Elon was talking about, starting it out, not backing a candidate yet, but maybe just getting some people in the Senate, get some people in Congress and stuff like that. I mean, I haven't heard any updates of it, but I mean, the stock has recovered from when Elon got very loud about American Party and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it went down to the high 200s, and now it's back to what it was. And everyone panicked. It's hilarious. It's honestly hilarious. People should not be panicking when it comes down to these things. It's just noise. It's just noise, man.
Well, I'm glad he announced it. I am glad he got everybody panic a little bit. I got 15 share.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So this is how I see it. I want to go through it quick because it's in my chest. Hello, Jennifer.
Hello, my dear. Hi, Pejjy. It's nice to see you guys again.
Nice
Jennifer,
to see
how
you
are
too. Then 1 second, I try to get my thought out before I forget about it. I think the people are gonna say whatever they want to say. Everybody entitled to their thought, you know. You can be loud like Dan Knife say we need to put guardrail on Elon, and Elon is like, shut up, Dan. That's pretty funny. And I think we see it in our face that no matter what way we vote, it's not good for us, right? We, like Biden not good, Trump end up not really good. You know what I mean? It's not just it's just the whatever we turn left or turn right, it's just not good. And you know, Elon when he see thing like that his partner, the Chiffon, her name is Chiffon, say if it's not about changing the humanity for the good, Elon not interesting. If it's not benefit to humanity, Elon is not interesting in any of those. So he set his mind to something that is like, holy shit. This is even like, I think this is too big. For my own humble opinion, is this too big? They're gonna kill him. The left and the right is gonna be like, fuck this shit, right? So I'm worried. But we cannot live we cannot live life in not kill him. The left and the right is gonna be like, fuck this shit, right? So I'm worried, but we cannot live we cannot live life in fear, you know. So I'm worried, but it's actually give me hope. If there anything, I feel like, oh, where's Pejjy going? I feel like some hope here, you know. It's a hope that something might be really changing. Maybe we can, our vote is actually gonna count again. I don't know, man. What do you think? Oh, Pejjy is gone. What do you think, Jen? American Party.
The heck?
I think America Party is a great idea. I think that it's going to be really interesting because, you know, people joked that people voted for Elon, not Trump. And we're going to find out if that's true with the American Party, because I think if Elon could run, because unfortunately he can't run for president of the United States. But I think if he could one, he'd have a good chance. And, you know, I think people are really disgusted right now with what happened with the Epstein files. Like these are promises that were broken to the American people. And you know who doesn't break their promises? Elon Musk. And so I think if Elon thinks it's a good idea, it's a good idea. Like I was thinking about this today, Fa, because I was thinking about coming on the show today. I was really excited. And I thought about all the things that people said Elon couldn't do, and he did it. Like he promised us electric cars. And there was a time when people were like, electric cars are never going to work. And you know what? He makes a gorgeous electric car. And there are millions of them now. You know, people said he couldn't make a reusable rocket. It was impossible. The man delivered a reusable rocket. People said the cars can't drive themselves. And now we have Robotaxi in Austin. Like Elon delivers, okay? And he knows what he's doing. And I don't think it's any different with this. So I support him fully on it. I'm kind of excited to see what happens.
Bro, why can't I? Why can't?
Oh, shoot, I can't hear Fa. Fa, can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can now. Okay, good.
Sorry, I was quiet for a minute. I tried to get Pejjy back to co-host. That's what I tried to do. I already sent it. So
Let me go back. This is just annoying sometimes.
team, we been follow story of Elon Musk. We been follow the stuff. We he's on it, right? Like he said, hey, energy in America up for the terawatt. He gonna do it. I'm so excited that he gonna have a giga solar. Is that what he gonna do next? I'm so excited about it. So I don't know. I think the state quick while we wait for Pejjy.
Damn, this is just terrible. Sorry, guys. Always, every week, there's problem with spaces for some stupid reason.
Skip the politics for a little bit. So bear with.
Hello, hello.
We're gonna talk a little bit right now, but we're gonna go back to Tesla because
The
that's
heck?
why we're here. And I would love everybody who have blue check mark. If you have something to say, please send the request. I will approve you. Brandon, I would love to have you here, but you don't have blue check mark. Please DM me what you want to say. I want to read it first because we got thrown here before and it's waste of the time of everybody else. So thank you so very much.
Oh my god.
So
it was
this
so annoying.
is a rule. Welcome on Saturday weekly with Pejjy. Right now we have Jennifer, Smokey the Bear, and Aurora Sky. So we're gonna talk about it. So now the first few minutes when we set the state right here.
All right, let me just go ahead and refresh this page. This is really bugging. Really bugging.
True.
Before you go on, hold on. I want to remind everybody, please repost the space, okay?
Hello?
This is how Elon run the stock. This is how Elon run a business. He gonna have all the intention in the world because right now he own X. And Lucky Palmer said best when it's time like this, when it's time like you're about to turn
I guess
steering your company into like boom, you have a choice to take all the paper hand out. Right now, the story of Tesla is not about car anymore. It's about the car that drives itself. It's about full self-driving. It's about robot that's gonna come alive. It is a new chapter and it's gonna make shit ton of money. I'm not joking. If you don't hear it, let me say it again. It's gonna make shit ton of money. So what Elon do right now? He shake out all the paper hand. He shake out all the people who not believe in his business. He's gonna say something like, "Hey, I'm gonna start a third party. Hey, let's got seed in the Senate. Hey, let's not them pass all the law that we don't want, right?" But now, my friend, this 2 week, literally 2 week, is gonna be so much fun. Strap your seatbelt. The roller coaster of Tesla about to like go. Hey,
Yeah.
Pejjy, welcome back.
Thank you. It's
I gonna hand the mic to Smokey next.
Okay. Yeah, no, I just want to say welcome everybody. Yeah, just having a little technical difficulties. Man, every week there's some weird difficulty with X. Anyways, I'm back now. Yeah, no, I just want to say I already mentioned it in early spaces, but I just want to say it again that that literally at the beginning of this week, the stock plummeted like what 7-8%, and now it's pretty much recovered. I mean, those who sold again were loud about it. I'm glad they sold. Saying that they can't handle it anymore. Oh my god, I can't handle Elon and Trump anymore. And crying and sobbing and moaning and all that. No, it's just stupid. It's like, like just look at what like look at the signal, man. We got cars that drive themselves now. You really think Trump wants to see Tesla's Robotaxi in China first? In Europe first, and then not allowed in the US. That's
Well, it's in Austin already, Pejjy. It's Robotaxi's here, baby.
Exactly. Thank you, Jennifer. That's what I mean. And I'm just talking about that. Like, we've had some discussion on this. I think I did like live spaces earlier I think it was last week or something during the week. They're talking about like what if for regulation. They say that for autonomous vehicles in the US, anyone can do whatever they want, but they must have LiDAR. What is that gonna do to Tesla? And I'm thinking about it, I'm just like, well, if that was the case, wouldn't they do it already? Wouldn't they have done it before, it was launched in Austin and now in California and then Arizona and then slowly go into other cities? It just doesn't make any sense, right? So there's a lot of fear out there when it comes down to these things, but you just got to look at the signal and see what's actually going on. And I don't think it really matters whether it does matter, but when it comes to regulation, I don't think the regulators are going to sit there and go like, yeah, we should probably use LiDAR because, Tesla doesn't use LiDAR. They can scale it and save millions and thousands of lives. But LiDAR, we should have LiDAR because it's more safer. But the data doesn't prove that. The data doesn't say that. The data doesn't, it just, if that's the case, they're 100% targeting Elon and Tesla in a way. But I don't think they will do that. I think if they do that, they're shooting themselves in the foot. Because if they actually have this, I'm sure Tesla will get around it. I think they'll just add another small speck of camera there going like, we have LiDAR too, right there in that little one section there, but that's about it. Just so they can be part of the discussion or part of the rules or whatever. But I don't think the US wants to see, an American company, their technology to be live in a foreign country than their country themselves on a national wide basis. So, but this goes back to Jennifer's point that we already have it on the roads in the US. That's the crazy part. Sheesh. That's what I gotta say. Just that.
Well, and Pejjy.
Yeah.
Pejjy, I gotta tell you though, I think FSD is ready. So when I went on my little boat trip, right, I left the RV 3 hours from Palm Beach, Florida, and Captain Ryan had to come pick us up. He has a Model Y and he uses FSD all of the time. And I'm telling you, the whole trip, the 3-hour trip, he used FSD, not one single problem. And then when we were provisioning for the trip, and we're in Palm Beach, Florida, right? And I don't know if you know this, but it's like a special security area because of Mar-a-Lago there. And it's a very busy area. It's very, very busy. We used FSD the entire time with not any intervention. So that was all the proof that I needed that it's ready for prime time. And then I've talked to some people who have access to Robotaxi and they think it's fantastic. They've had no problems. And I have been invited now to come down to Austin to try out Robotaxi. So I will be doing that soon. I'm very excited and, but it sounds like it's going really well and they're already planning on expanding, the Robotaxi network. Now they set the shareholder meeting for November 6th, and I wouldn't be surprised if most shareholders show up to the meeting via Robotaxi. That would be really cool to see.
It's November 6th? That's actually like legit? I haven't seen that.
That's the date. Yep. Boomer Mama put it out and I did confirm it because, you see rumors and everything, but I've confirmed it and it's November 6th. So, everybody get ready. It's time for a family reunion in Austin.
Sheesh. I won't be, darn it. I will be coming to this one. I mean, you have to get an invite to go, right?
Well, you have to get an invite to go to the official shareholder meeting at Gigafactory. But what a lot of people don't know is the Austin Owners Club throws an amazing party where they do a watch party and an after party combo. So if you're not invited to the Gigafactory, you can still come to Austin and you can attend the event. It's absolutely free. It's open to everybody. And oftentimes what they do is they'll have it live telecasted, the presentation that's in the Gigafactory, they'll live telecast it to the watch party. Nice. And everybody who isn't invited to the Gigafactory, we're all at the watch party hanging out. I've done that before for Investor Day and a couple other events. Yeah, it's really great. But then what's really nice is the after party. So once everything wraps up at the Gigafactory, people go back to their hotel room, they freshen up, and they come out to the after party. And I have to tell you, you are going to see everybody there. So if you want to see some of your favorite influencers, sometimes they're doing talks or whatever. Franz shows up regularly. Franz von Holzhausen is one of the nicest, kindest people. And he like mixes with people and says hi and does photos and stuff. So I think it's completely worth going to. And then there's all these like ancillary little things that, we'll do. Like people will get together. Sometimes Ellie in Space will host a party. She usually does it in a park somewhere. It's going to be beautiful weather in Austin in November. It's a beautiful time of year to be there. So I'm really grateful that we're not going to be melting. I think November is the perfect time to be in Austin. A lot of people get together and go to Terry Black's for barbecue. So there's like so many things that are going on around the event that you can also participate in. So if anybody wants to get that like Tesla investor feel of hanging out with all of your Tesla buddies, like I'd strongly encourage everybody to come. It's a lot of fun. You'll meet some of your favorite Twitter handles there. And I'll tell you, there's something really magical about being in a room full of people with the same interests. You get to have like these great high level conversations with people, and it's just really a magical time. So just be aware that likely the Austin Owners Club will be announcing soon the after party, and I'll whenever they do that following Saturday, I'll pop in and I'll throw you guys the deets for sure.
That's amazing. That is very amazing.
I would also imagine that by November, Robotaxi will probably be available to more people. I mean, right now it's to just a few, invited people. They've expanded it a little bit because more people have gotten invitations. But I would imagine by November, we're going to see maybe Robotaxi operating in the Austin area without invitations. So that may possibly be why they chose such a late date, because typically by this time of year, we've already had the shareholder meeting, because last year it was in June and the year before that it was in May. So November is a really late date for the shareholder meeting, and I think it's on purpose. I think it's going to be a really great surprise.
Yeah, I can't wait. I mean, don't think I'll attend this one, but that's awesome that it's free and you can do it. Definitely, I'll make sure for like the next one, I'll be there.
Well, and just make sure that you register your shares. So people often ask me, like, how do you get invited to the official events? And what you have to do is you have to register your shares with Tesla. So if you don't already have a profile on Tesla's website and you have shares of Tesla, I encourage you to go make a profile on the Tesla website. You're going to have an opportunity to set up your profile, and within that, you can verify your shares. Usually it's done through Say. If Say won't be able to verify your shares, because sometimes that happens, you may have to manually verify shares, and that can take time. So if you do it now, you should be good. And then I would just keep an eye on it, because at some point they're going to announce like, you have to verify your shares by this date, and it must be shares that you own by this date. So another way to get invited is as a +1. Now, I've gone twice as a +1. And how do you end up becoming a +1? Well, here's some sad facts. A lot of men will hold Tesla shares in their own portfolio, but their wives don't hold any Tesla shares. So if you want to be able to bring your spouse, say you have thousands of shares, right? But you still want to be able to bring your spouse, buy her at least one share of Tesla, because you have to be a shareholder to attend the event. So like a shareholder cannot bring a non-shareholder to the official event. So I just want everybody to realize that, because oftentimes what happens is these shareholders will get invited. Their spouse can't go because they're not a shareholder. Their best friend can't go because they're not a shareholder. And then they contact one of the larger influencers to say, hey, I got invited. I don't have anybody I can bring. So if you know anybody that wants to be a +1, please let them know. And then they kind of pair people up. So if you have like a buddy you want to come with you, by all means tell them they have got to go buy some Tesla shares, because you have to be a shareholder.
Nice.
Oh, and then they also have to verify them, just FYI.
True.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love this. I would love to go so bad. This year cannot. Next year. I saw Sander here. I would love to hear from Sander. How's it going? I'll give him some time if he want to come up. Hello, Smokey. How's it going?
Throw Xander a mic, because I know that he has access to Robotaxi. Xander, come up here and say hi. I want to hear about Robotaxi, and then I won't interrupt anymore. Smokey, go ahead.
Good time. Dude, there is so much going on in the community. Like, holy shit. I was expecting exponential growth to start this year, but I was not expecting it at this level on every single aspect of his businesses are blowing up. Like, I'm amazed that the stock price right now is not 500. Just honestly, it's amazing to me. But there's so much noise, signal to noise. Pejjy hit it right on the nail. You got to look where this noise is coming from. Elon's businesses in a whole are disrupting everything. And all the people disrupted, they're going to pay for all this FUD to keep coming out. Because why? He's fucking them in the ass with no lube. That is why. So I can't wait. And let's fucking go.
Oh, Smokey.
Well, and you know what I want to say about that, guys? Like, think about, I was talking to somebody about this on a space the other day, and they were, griping about Elon being in politics. And I said, hold on a second. I said, are you talking about our volunteer CEO? Because I don't know any other CEO that doesn't get paid for years. For years, this man has not been paid. And yet he is running one of the best companies in America. And I said, besides him exercising his right to free speech, what else do you want to see Tesla doing? Because right now we are selling every car that we make. We are selling every product that we make. I can't think of a material fact of like what they could be doing better. Like, nobody has any suggestions on how they could do better. They want people,
Bro, what the heck just happened? There we go.
here. Can we say hi to Xander? Hello, Xander. Xander, unmute your mic, honey. Oh, there you are. Hey, honey.
Well, that was the strangest thing. I heard all of that, and then I was up on the stage, and then I heard it again. That was weird.
Yeah, me too.
I was like, "Is this deja vu? Am I asleep still? What's going on?"
No, there's a delay when you're a speaker versus a listener. There's a couple second delay, so it does sound weird when you get pulled up.
Yeah.
Iman's here.
I got the app. I did a epic run yesterday. I'm actually trying to learn iMovie and start editing and putting it all together to show the fun stuff. Gave a ride to a guy named Himanshu, and it was cool. We just had a good conversation, and then there's this nice moment where it takes a left turn, starts creeping forward, and sees that there's a second car in the second lane. So it kind of threads the needle between oncoming car and a car that's just passing. And he was all excited about it, saying, "Oh, that was slightly dangerous," and it was just exactly how a human would do it, and it was buttery smooth. I did like 6 rides yesterday, and yeah, it's great. Lots of Waymos around there as well. So it was good. I found a glitch in the matrix. One of my rides didn't post in the app. So I'm sending that off to the developers. We'll try to figure out what happened, why it didn't register there. I have a screenshot of that your ride arrived, but it's not in the history. Got to make sure I get charged my 420, and then yeah, it was great. Lots of people when we're getting in and out noticing. I didn't catch it on camera, but someone was taking pictures and video, and so it's getting a lot of attention. It's really good.
Xander.
Now, Xander, where is it though? Like, where in Austin are you, and where did you go? Like, what is the area that we can see Robotaxis in?
Well, it's the south of Lady Bird Lake.
Oh,
where it
my
is.
hood. Yeah, my hood. Oh, that's good to know.
Yep, yep. So it's the Congress or whatever. Terry Black's is everyone goes there. I was set up at the Alamo Theater or whatever it was called. That's where I met up with Tesla Tino before. So a nice place to park the Cybertruck. So it was good. We also we had dinner, and then and Robotaxi took us to dinner. We went back, and when we were going back, there was an Uber that pulled up, and it was just, it's funny how at the same time they have the light on, and this was at night, so I was like, hey, that's the old option, and here's the new option, and then some guys were showing their 7-Eleven Slurpees to us, so it was kind of funny. We'll see if I can edit together something entertaining. I do have a question. Like, do people want to see like the whole? Like, I mean, I have 2 rides back to back that it ends up being an hour because we took a really far route. He wanted to experience a lot of it. Do you guys want to see all the footage or just like the fun stuff?
Do both.
All of it.
Okay,
Sorry, go
both.
ahead, Pejjy.
Both. I got you. So you want just the raw footage and then just do the highlights.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would post both.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I'm curious to know, Zan, did you have any interventions, or did you have any little slip ups here and there with or experience any of those with the Robotaxi? Very curious to know.
No.
Really?
Every I've taken. I haven't counted it yet. How many I've had? Because I did a bunch with Bradford. I did the first day with Herbert, and now I've done like 7 rides, I think. There hasn't been anything. There's another cool moment that we had. So the answer is buttery smooth, no issues, impressively good. I want to say at some point she hovered over the screen. I'm gonna look back at the footage and look closely for it, like as in just being cautious. I took that first ride when I got the app. There was, it's choosing very wisely. Like there was a car turning right, and we were also going to turn right. So that oncoming car, and I asked, out loud. Oh, I posted it. I posted it. But yeah, it was like, it was when that Tide truck drove by, or van drove by, and it didn't go where my beast probably would have gone, because I saw the turn signal, but it kind of chose not to make it not to take that aggressive turn because it's uncomfortable for the passenger. I think what they worked on is the ability to look down at like your laptop or at the screen and not have to be like a backseat driver and look up and just be uncomfortable with jerkiness. So I think that smoothness, and that's what I keep saying, like it's buttery smooth. It's so good. It takes turns. It sees a car, a narrower street. It gave way and kind of tucked in between or behind a car and between cars, and then comes around it. It's doing incredible. And then I had a couple of cool things on the same street when we got dropped off. It did a K turn. I called it a U turn in the video, but it's a K turn, and it's like a 4-point. So forward, back, and then forward, or I guess 5. So it did that. But then when we got picked up, we got dropped. It picked us up from exactly the same spot, but it didn't do that. It went and used the roundabout to do that turn. And why the difference between the two? No idea. The only difference was we weren't in it when we were dropped off, but we were in it when we were picked up. So it seemed like that also stood out in a choice of making it more enjoyable for the rider instead of going forward and back. Although I kind of would have, wished they would have done that because that would have been fun to be inside for that.
Well, and not for nothing, Xander, but the area that you're talking about, like that's an area I'm very familiar with. And it is not like some suburban area. Like this is in the city of Austin, and it's some of the toughest parking. Like you can't get parking down there. Like it's difficult driving. It's divided oftentimes. And very, very busy. So that's really impressive that that's where they decided to do it, because I think it's a great proof of concept. I saw that Robert Scoble just joined us, so I just want to say hi, Scobie. Welcome. So glad to see you.
Yeah, welcome to Grock Day.
So excited. Welcome.
Unfortunately, my old Model 3 doesn't get it. My new Model Y does. So,
Have you tested it? Have you tested the Grok yet?
I have not. I just got up. I'm tired.
Wait,
Good
Robert,
morning.
Well,
Robert,
it's
may
good
I
afternoon.
ask? So your Model Y is a AI4, and your Model 3 is a AI3. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So AI3 don't get a Grok?
It's only the AMD chips get the Grok.
Oh
Fa,
no!
time to upgrade,
Yeah.
Fa.
Just out of curiosity, have you brought it up with them? Is it a possibility to get that AMD chip installed and upgraded?
Not yet. Elon has promised Hardware 3 cars will get updated someday in the future to Hardware 4. And we'll see where we are then. But so far, we haven't gotten information on that.
I want to cry.
I know he wants his leather.
We're all losers. Have to run it on our phone. Yeah. Plus, it's not very well integrated yet into the Tesla. You can't, tell it to make it colder in here or something like that yet. So, we're still waiting for real integration into the vehicle. But yeah, it's a start.
Have you been playing with Grok4, with Grok4 Heavy?
Not with the heavy that much, but I've been using Grok4. It wrote me a statement of work for a client, and it's pretty good.
Wait, what is Grok4 and Grok4 Heavy? I didn't be on my phone for like a week.
Oh man, you missed all the news. Grok4 is a much better model than Grok 3. It's much smarter, much more state of the art. Exceeds the others on tests, at least. A lot of developers are saying, I still like Claude better. But at least it brings the Grok up to a state of the art kind of area. It's much better than Grok 3 was.
For comparison, like it's about $3,000 a year for Grok4 Heavy, but intelligence-wise, it's like double the current best before it was released.
Sheesh.
In intelligence.
Yeah, at least on the tests, a lot of developers are saying it's not as good, but it's at least in the neighborhood, right? So it brings X.AI up to the state of the art and makes it competitive. And the voices are much better, which is going to matter in our Tesla, right?
I think I heard that Grok4 Heavy can implement multiple files across workspaces because multiple agents are being utilized. Right, it's a pretty good improvement.
Yeah, and there's a lot of promises of major updates to come over the next few months. So it's good. They're moving fast, which is what we want.
I have a dumb question for Robert. So now the car, Robert, welcome again. So now the car drives itself. I live in Bay Area. I just my neighborhood is a lot of Tesla. If you drive to San Francisco, sometimes you see a lot of Tesla. So we know for sure that the car is selling.
Yeah.
Whatever the other news say, the car is not selling. It's not really right.
I see a lot of new Teslas in the Bay Area. I don't see a lot of new Rivians or Lucids.
Right. And now the car is so smart. It's drive itself. And now the car gonna talk to you too.
Yeah.
And why stock is only 300? It's a dumb question, I know.
It's just, the stock being at the price that it is, and I don't know if you follow Alexandra Mertz. She also said it's unbelievably the stock price is not representing the true value right now. I think just over this weekend, after the news, we have the India rollout, California, Arizona. I'm really optimistic. India, of course, they even have sent out emails to people that are trying to get them to start using the service there. So I'm not sure if they're doing the Robotaxi there yet, or maybe it's just like a service station. I think it's just an Indian, just the operation, right? I don't know if someone's.
The reason the investors are not piling into this stock is because sales are down of our existing vehicles, and that's weighing down on the stock. And also, we got a CEO who says weird shit a lot.
Yeah, I think in terms of the stock price, like you were saying, Rob, definitely the political aspect of it. But something else, I really think that Pejjy, you talked to Joe Bhakti about this. I think that Joe mentioned this to you as well. He was saying that once Tesla has 2,000 cars in the Robotaxi fleet, roughly 2,000, Joe was saying that when it's a percentage of the free cash flow that is represented by the revenue from the Robotaxi fleet, about 5% or so, then Wall Street will be forced to recognize this, and no amount of political fallout will prevent them from sending the stock up double, maybe triple what it is right now. I really think that's going to be the case once they see it.
Yeah. Once we start seeing Robotaxi scale up to more cities than just Austin, more people are going to see what FSD can do. And therefore, when they do buy a Tesla, they're going to buy FSD. The take-up rate is going to start going up, and that's going to start increasing profitability. But we're not quite there yet. We're in this in-between period of change in Tesla. This is why I'm a long-term investor. I really don't care about right now. I'm buying this thing for 10 years because in 10 years, we're going to have people with Neuralinks on. We're going to have people who, Tesla's Robotaxi is going to be everywhere in the world. And we're going to have Optimus walking around.
Did you see the Neuralink presentation like a week ago? That was beautiful, man. That was so great. I love that presentation.
On Tuesday. On Tuesday,
I was just gonna
go ahead.
Oh, sorry, Robert. Go ahead.
No, on Tuesday I had brain-computer interface. Who's making a brain-computer interface on my show, and this stuff is cooking, right?
I thought that Joey's presentation. I'm sorry, Jennifer. I'll let you go in just a sec. I thought that Joey's presentation for blindsight, that was unbelievable. Blindsight is remarkable. Blindsight is going to be a real and not only vision. But we're talking about augmenting vision, such that people that already have vision might want to get this implant in their Calcra and Fisher, and literally have augments, overlays on objects. If you're playing a video game and you see an overlay on an object you want to pick up, imagine that IRL and actually seeing an overlay on an object you want to pick up or you want to move. It's going to be spectacular. I can't wait.
Yeah, having this in everyday people is years away, so let's not get too excited. But like I said, 10 years solves a lot of problems.
The resolution for blindsight is still pretty low. It's if you looked at the presentation, it's a bit pixelated. But I think over time, Elon famously says repeatedly about Neuralink that you will see it coming. It's going to take a while to get there. So
yeah.
And while we're all excited about Neuralink, and I get it, what will really impact Tesla is SpaceX, because, honey, we're going to Mars and we're going to need a lot of robots. And so, don't forget that we have a built-in customer, a huge built-in customer, because we're going to need those robots to do all that work. So, and that is not as far away as Neuralink going out to the masses, so I think that's going to be significant. I talked to a friend of mine at SpaceX this morning. I asked him, I said, well, how are we looking for launch 10? And, he said he heard some things, and I think it's going to be sooner than we all realize. So I think they're making good progress there. And I don't think that anybody should be worried.
You mean the IFT launch 10, like the next Starship?
Yeah,
the
Starship.
okay,
Yeah, I'm
okay.
talking about Starship. Yeah, Elon's big rocket. I try to go to all the Starship launches now, and I've got some friends that work down there. And as we all know, Massey's blew up, which is the testing site. But it does sound like they're making great progress, and we're going to see a launch before we know it. So I really think that Mars is still definitely on schedule, and they're making great progress. It's going to be enormous for Tesla, in my opinion.
For Tesla, for Optimus, having a bunch of factories to put Optimus in is much more important than I think we're all recognizing, because that gives them a place to do a lot of the early training of Optimus. Optimus is not going to be a thing that can walk around and come in your house for years. Probably around 7 years is what most people in robotics are thinking. But there's a lot to do in the factories, and having the data of workers working on our cars, making cars, is a huge advantage for Tesla. Figure has to work with a third party to get that kind of data, and they're not going to be able to move as fast as Tesla can in terms of training the robot. So, and also there's 12,000 people working in Fremont, for instance, where they're doing a lot of the R&D for the Optimus. How many jobs can Optimus do today? Maybe only 0.0001%, right? Maybe only 50 jobs. How much is it going to be able to do in 6 months? A lot more than that. How much is it going to be able to do in 18 months? A lot more than that, right? And that's going to affect the profitability of Tesla as well.
Hey, if you don't mind, I'd like to jump in on this too, because Jennifer makes up a good point, and a lot of people don't think about these other side projects and the synergies that all of his companies have together.
What an awesome discussion.
But one of the biggest convictions I have in Tesla cannot fail is actually SpaceX. It's Starlink. Because when you look in the defense sector, that is going to make the Golden Dome happen. 70-some% of the satellites in orbit of Earth are owned by Elon Musk. Who the fuck can stop him at this point? I'm just saying. Just want to throw that in there.
I don't see it. Which is why I'm holding for 10 more years.
Yeah, quite frankly, like looking at the share price and the stock, like if we want to talk about the stock for a minute, I think it's consolidating. And we saw a huge consolidation for many, many years before that enormous upswing we had in 2020 where it just exploded and then was included in the S&P 500. And then, after 2022, we've just been consolidating. But, the bigger the base, the bigger the rise, guys.
Well, yeah, but also don't forget that we had that like monster FOMO rally in November, actually started in October, and so like people that talk about how the stock's been flat for so long, it's like did you guys forget that little thing? That was if you needed exit liquidity, that was a new all-time high, and but people just continue to hope that it's going to go on these crazy runs. The reality is the entire auto industry is under pressure. They're switching over to new gen vehicles, and that's all coming. So it's just I think a matter of patience, and then we'll get there quickly.
Yeah, I think like the most important thing is not to ever kind of like doubt the process and doubt the system, that's being built, and just sort of sell early. Even sell a small percent of your portfolio and to diversify, I think is risky. I myself am 100%. Well, I'm 99% Tesla. I'm 1% Bitcoin, but I went from Palantir, Nvidia, Tesla to entirely Tesla, and I don't regret that. Even though it's been quite volatile, I don't regret, all-inning Tesla, and I just feel really confident in my decision to do that. So.
Hey, can I do that real quick? Actually, if you don't mind, dude. Honestly, I see either way you go on this as a win, because they're going to grow together. Both of those options are good, including I think Bitcoin, especially with this Erebor bank coming. But either way, you're winning, bro.
Bitcoin,
Yeah,
you
we
know
are
what?
winning. We
You
are
know
all
why I
winning.
got Bitcoin? I got Bitcoin because I wanted to have the option to donate to people online. That's the only reason I first got it. But then I thought, well, you know what? I want to just hold it. I kind of got greedy. I didn't do any donations right away, and then I just held it, and I haven't done any donations yet. But I like and I was actually always kind of against Bitcoin. I kind of thought Bitcoin was sort of a commodity, hard to value, very very volatile, no real intrinsic financials. Right? I kind of thought Bitcoin was just. But then I really thought that Trump would do a lot for Bitcoin. So that's sort of one of the main reasons why I had even like 2%, 1% in Bitcoin at all. That's the only reason I did that.
Yeah. So this like entire pressure that we put on ourselves to be all in or all out and get all emotional and make these like rash decisions, not pointing any fingers in anyone in the community that might have sold recently and then got back in the next day when they were wrong. Most people can't do that. The reality is actually like this timing thing is very difficult because you'll decide to exit finally, right? You got fed up, you got emotional about it, and then you're like, oh well, I'm gonna get back in at 250, but it doesn't, and then you're watching it, and then it's 350, and then it's 400, and then it's 400, and then you're just and you won't do it because you have to admit that you're wrong. And so I applaud the person who did that and got right back in. That's
But Xander, you're hilarious. I love it.
My neighbor lost money in 2020 when Tesla went up 5 times, right? You should have been able to make money no matter what you did that year. He bought at the top of a peak because he was getting excited, and then he sold it when it went down right before it started running up, right? And most people, if they make emotional decisions, make mistakes. If you don't understand this company and where it's going long term, you're going to play short term stupid games. My money manager, when I started investing in Tesla, because he hated the idea of investing in Tesla, he's like, this company could go bankrupt, which he was right. It almost went bankrupt right after I bought it, right? But he asked me, or he told me, in 1999, Amazon was $112. If you held till today, you were a very happy person. You bought it at 112, right? But in 2001, it went all the way down to 6, and everything else was going bankrupt. And he said all of his clients sold close to that. And he told me that most of them didn't buy back in as it started going up. For years because they didn't believe in the sector or they didn't believe in the stock anymore. And so you got to see the long term and be able to hold even through all the noise and all the drama and ups and downs. Since owning Tesla, it's gone down, I think, about 8 times, more than 40%, right? So this is a rocket ride. It goes a little weird.
An interesting statistic about that. When Tesla goes down a fairly large magnitude, it recovers, and I think this is pretty ubiquitous amongst all drawdowns for Tesla. It tends to recover within 2 weeks to a month, if not a little bit longer, and that's the patience people need. It's always a recovery, especially with this stock, I think.
Yeah. Someday in the next 18 months, a Robotaxi is going to turn on in China, and that's going to be a big deal.
Yeah.
Right.
Like on Saturday, it's just going to turn on and people are going to be like, oh, why wasn't I in the stock on a Saturday? People can get it.
Yeah. And someday they're going to show off Optimus doing more things, right? And someday the take-up rate of FSD is going to go up and it's going to get announced. So, it's hard to guess where all these are going to happen. And, it's hard to guess short term. I don't play short term games. I don't know how to predict what the market's going to do tomorrow. Trump could say something stupid and tariff a country.
I never liked short term because even if you go up a little bit, the tax realization for short term capital gains is always more than long term, and I always despise that, and I can't stand the taxes on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
as a daily
yeah.
options trader, I hope you pay lots of taxes.
Oh, man.
Is what I was taught as a teenager. And you know what? It just means you're making money, and yes, you got to
That's
share
good.
with
That's
the
good.
government, but like it's just I'll tell you why I'm bringing this up. In 2021, I had leaps, and I doubled the entire portfolio. It was like 50% in leaps, and I doubled the entire portfolio, and I didn't sell, and it was life-changing money. And because it was like, oh, it's short-term capital gains, I'm just going to wait until it's a long-term capital gain. And what happened? I ended up taking a big fat giant loss because those leaps expired worthless
Oh,
because
man.
I wouldn't let it go. And so I think
That sucks.
that little part is really important to kind of
Yeah.
make sure that you don't allow the taxation to have you make a bad decision. So I had to unlearn that.
One of the mistakes that I made, and I think Smokey, I mentioned to Smokey earlier that I sold my Palantir. I sold my Palantir when it was still short term, because I thought, okay, Robotaxi, and I was really optimistic that Tesla before April might possibly kind of make a move. And so I sold before I was long term on Palantir, and I regret that. I kind of wish I waited for another month or two on that, and then I might have saved a little bit on tax on that. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's the ultimate point is
yeah.
We are all different planes flying at different altitudes. If you can sleep at night with 10% exposure, you sleep, great, do that. If you are more risky and you're younger and you have a longer time horizon, do that. You're feeling that this is not the stock for you, don't invest. Like this like measuring of like, oh, well, I'm all in and I got diamond hands. Well, you know what? That's not how it works. And the market is very, very, especially with Tesla, the options market is what drives this entire thing. And they love to do the opposite of what you want, right? You want to see it go rocket on Monday and Tuesday because all of these things that they announced with Grok and whatever, what's going to be perfect? They're going to drop it, and you're going to be like, what? Wait, this doesn't move the stock. But that's just part of the game. And so that's where the when in doubt, zoom out, look at it long term has worked really well for me to just continue to understand the company, not focus so much on the stock. I just use it as a buying opportunity for long term.
Yeah.
Well, and one thing that like nobody's mentioning though, boys, I know it's not as glamorous as these beautiful cars, but let's not forget that we make long duration energy storage, and currently worldwide, the most affordable thing, if you need a new power plant, the most affordable thing is solar plus long duration energy storage. And we just made that big plant in Shanghai that has a capacity, I think it's like 2x of what our Megapack factory in the United States has. And I don't know if you know this, but China currently, the Chinese companies, right, they're selling a lot of power to Africa. Africa's starting to industrialize. The demand for power is enormous in Africa, and there is an established trade route between China and Africa, and now we are part of it as Tesla. So that, I think, is going to be huge. The margins are fantastic on long-duration energy storage, so it's going to be a sleeping giant. I know it's not as sexy as the robots or the cars, but baby, it's going to make us rich.
Yeah, everything that we're all talking about, the trading stuff. I don't really do the trading stuff or any options because I'm just, my biggest fear is not having enough Tesla stock. Like, I don't care if the stock goes down another 50%. I'm so numb to it, like what Robert said, or no, I think it was Gothic who said that has gone down like, I think it's 40%. 8 times. Either Robert or Gothic mentioned that. I mean,
more than 40% 8 times since I've owned it.
That's insane. Like nobody could, nobody could endure this type of roller coaster, right? Like I remember the stock.
Pejjy, you're 100%, right, Pejjy, in Tesla.
99.7.
Hey fellas, I don't know if you realize, but Simon from Tesla Light Shows is here, and he's got his hand up. And we have such like an all-star cast today,
awesome.
So I just wanted to bring your attention to that. Welcome, Simon. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, everybody should come to
I'd bring the room down
a
bit. Yeah, I just thought I'd bring the room down a little bit. Yes, and definitely everyone should come to X Takeover because it's going to be absolutely fantastic. And
Love to.
you know, we do have a light show. We do have a light show that's going on. It's 800 drones that we've got going up in the air. So it's going to be basically what we did in Michigan, but double the power and double the force. It's going to be
Wait.
absolutely incredible.
This is end of July in San Mateo, right?
It is 25th of July is the show. That's the evening. That's completely free for anybody to go to. You do need to register just so that we've got numbers. But then the actual X takeover, where everybody's going to be, is on the 26th on the Saturday.
Which Steve Jurvetson's the keynote speaker. You think you're a good investor? He bought Tesla at less than a cent a share.
Holy.
Jesus.
I need to go see that guy in person.
Yes, and ask him to give you some. It didn't cost him very much. He can afford it. I did have a question.
Please go ahead.
Sorry, I had a question for Robert, because of course you brought up Optimus. I, like very many people, are very, very keen to get my hands on one. You think it's going to be about 7 years plus. Now, do you think that's because of production? And when I say production, I mean priority over the receipt of that production. So is it internal and company versus consumer?
Production plays a role in that. It's more the brains of the robot. The hardware's coming along. The brains have to be finished, and that's going to take a few years.
I did wonder
that
whether
doesn't
it was
mean
more
that there's
about it was useful elsewhere.
When I say 7 years, I'm talking about a generalized robot that can come in your house, talk with you, dance with you, clean your toilets, do your laundry, cook dinner for you, right? That's 7 years.
Yeah, like a maid.
4 to 10 years is what most people in robotics, because they're all talking with people at Tesla, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're all trying to hire people. That some of them have hired people from Tesla, so they know what's going on in Tesla.
Yeah, of course.
And even the Chinese are telling me 4 to 10 for a generalized humanoid robot that can walk around and interact with you and do everything you expect it to do. That doesn't mean that there's a lot that it can do before that, right? There's already dozens working in the Fremont factory. They can do what's called pick and place. In other words, pick up a tool and hand it to a human, or pick up a garbage bag and dump it into a bin, something like that, right? Very simple stuff can be done today. Every month, you're going to see more and more and more on robotics, right? The robots are going to keep doing more and more every month, and until we get to the promised land of having it in our house, right?
Yeah. That's
Robert,
where I was thinking it was going on kind of we are the last consumer, because there is potentially also more important things to do. Like we were discussing Mars earlier, you know, getting 1 million robots up to Mars, or however many robots we need up there, I don't know, to terraform the place. You know, what is that on the roadmap? Is it more important to do that than it is consumer goods focused? But it's going to be really interesting to see. And I'm obviously very keen for them to come and sit in my house and help me.
Yeah, we might see a robot do a curb to door delivery of a pizza, right? So you think of ordering a round table pizza. Right now, a human has to drive a car to your house with a stack of pizza and walk up to the house, ring the doorbell, and say, "Hey, here's your pizza. Where's my money?" Right? We could see a humanoid robot with a Robotaxi do that in a couple of years, 2 to 3 years, right? That doesn't need to be a very generalized robot, right?
No, exactly. But it would also be a very good introduction to the public to see, you know, a humanoid robot on the road doing something functional, something that's not going to, you know, take over the world, but is actually helpful. It's probably just that'd be a really good stepping stone.
Totally agree. Just realize this is a long-term thing that, you know, the promise of having many robots in our society running our businesses or whatever is a long-term thing over the next decade. It's not going to happen tonight.
Robert, I actually have a follow-up question for you about that.
Yeah.
So, you know, Tesla, I feel like they have this advantage that nobody else has in robotics, and it's Grok. and X.AI? And do you think that it's quite possible that, well, okay, I had always supposed that part of Elon purchasing X was for the data set. Like we have a huge data set here of human interaction, and
Yes.
I could see that it will jump us ahead as far as the robot being able to interact with humans. So we have something that's really beautiful that other robotics companies don't have. Do you think that that could put us on the shorter timeline for a humanoid robot, or do you think that plays into it?
It does play into it. It's just another piece of the data set that needs that's going to bring the robot to us. You're absolutely right. It's a huge advantage, particularly as we start getting used to being in an autonomous car. Now, everybody who's listening here is probably an FSD fan and has had a lot of experience with FSD. That's not true of most people in the world, right? So as they get introduced into Robotaxi and start using it and understanding that they can talk to the car about a variety of things, that'll matter. And certainly, if an Optimus did knock on your door this morning and with a stack of pizza or something like that, having the ability to talk to it is a huge, huge advantage. And what do you want to talk to it about? Come
Robert,
in and tell me about the news, right? Well, the news is happening here.
so I see where you're going. Do you see the Tesla merging in with X.AI?
Yeah, that wouldn't shock me. Yeah.
I just don't see Elon doing it. He hates the Tesla's public, and I think he did want it to go back private. And then I think that he's very invested in keeping, because he wants to keep control, which makes a lot of sense, wants to keep control of his companies. And the only way to do that is to keep them private. I don't see it, guys. I'm so sorry. I know the shareholders want it, but just because we want exposure, but I don't know if it's the best thing for those companies.
I think
I look at it differently because if you take money out of the money and the control out of it, you're going to want X.AI more integrated into Tesla in the future, right? The Optimus robot that's going to be made by Tesla is going to have an X.AI brain. And so it makes sense to align those companies close together so they can iterate faster and work closer together and feel like they're going in the same direction.
I could see it
Pejjy,
only if Elon gets his pay package. Like Elon does
Yeah.
not own a high enough percentage of Tesla because he's definitely going to want to keep control of Grok. Don't you think?
Yeah, the guy does have a few control issues, I think he wants to move fast, and we need to figure out his pay package and get him a reasonable pay package. He's the reason this company's here, right? So,
Pejjy, you have anything to add? If not, I'm gonna send to Smokey.
Yeah, no, I have one thing to add is for his control over Tesla. I was talking to Joe, and he had a very good point. He mentioned that he could, because he has a lot of he owns a lot of shares or has a lot of percentage of X.AI. So him merging it with Tesla could actually get him above 25% of Tesla shares right off the bat, and there's his control right there once he merges. Not too sure if that's the plan, but that's one way of doing it. So that's what I just want to throw in there, which is very interesting.
Smokey?
Hey, so I was actually going to touch on that little point, Pejjy. You beat me to it. But when you look at the timelines, right? So me and Rob tend to think very similar when it comes to tech and how it can integrate and work together. When you're looking at these two companies, X.AI and Tesla, I would not put it in the least bit behind. It's going to be earlier than later at this point because things have already started exponentially advancing everywhere. This AI is going to actually improve that. So, Rob, I kind of agree with you, generalized, maybe 7 years, but maybe earlier. I wouldn't doubt generalized and forward, but we'll see. I'm curious. It's definitely coming. It's just about when.
Yeah.
So I wasn't expecting the amount of Robotaxi expansion this fast. I was expecting it fast, but this is like, it's going plaid, bro. So I'm curious, but I think we're going to get the most entertaining outcome. I really do. And any kind of doubt that people had in Elon and his brilliance and his visions, I'm pretty sure that's erased now. It's amazing. Oh, and the last point I was trying to make earlier, Tom Lee actually pointed that out in an interview I wanted to say this week, that there are very few Da Vinci companies. Palantir and Tesla are the Da Vincis. So it's going to happen, dude. It's just a matter of when.
That's why you buy long term. That way you don't have to lose sleep worrying about when it's coming.
Exactly, brother.
Hello, Wes. How's it going?
Hey, Fa. Hey, everybody. Hope everyone's having a wonderful weekend.
We
It's
are.
good. It's going great here. I'm doing some work outside with a power washer, so I'm going to drop back off. But I've been listening the best I could, and I wanted to ask Robert. Robert, you kind of provided a standard for this happening in 7 years. I want to ask you kind of to look at it, or maybe give a different answer. In that, think of a monetization standpoint or kind of a Tesla stock price standpoint. When do you, because, I realize things are going to happen before we get to that 7-year point that you described.
Yeah.
When do you see this thing, driving revenue in here substantially, maybe not just killing it yet, but maybe you could just stair step what that looks like on the way to the 7-year period, and then you don't have to get into specifics on revenue, but you know what I mean? Like just some estimate of what trend it's going to have. And then secondly, if you have any idea, just whatever random thoughts you have on stock price along the way. Appreciate that.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
I mean, over the next let's say 18 months, right? We're going to see Robotaxi show up in a lot more cities than it's in right now, right? So that's going to create excitement. That's going to teach people that FSD is here and is something to be experienced or owned. So I would expect Tesla sales to start going up from where they are right now. I would also expect to see the take-up rate of FSD to start going up over the next 18 months. So by the end of next year, right? The Optimus, you're going to see a lot of breakthroughs in robotics from Tesla and others. But they're not going to be generalized in 18 months, but they are going to start doing more and more. So start thinking about the factories. How many people work at each factory? What kinds of jobs are going on in those factories? What percentage of jobs can an Optimus do in 18 months that it can't do today? It's going to be more. It's maybe 1% of the jobs, maybe even still 0.5%, but it's not going to be 0.0001%, right? So we're going to start seeing Optimus become more capable, and breakthroughs happening that gets people excited.
What point is that, Robert? I'm sorry, just to clarify.
I'm just talking about the next 18 months, next year and a half, right? You're going to start seeing more and more excitement about robotics happening in the world for a lot of reasons, not just there's a lot of companies working on robotics that aren't Tesla, right? You're going to see a lot of excitement. You're going to see humanoid robots start walking around streets, right? And you're seeing that in China, right? The Unitree is walking around. It's just not very capable. It doesn't do anything other than walk around and run around, right? It can't come in and cook dinner for you. But you are going to see more excitement, and that's going to start getting people go, oh, okay, the Optimus is actually going in a good direction, right? And that gets people excited. We've talked a little bit about the power walls and the electrical, batteries. That'll continue growing at a pretty good rate. Semi-trailer, we haven't talked about the trucking side of Tesla. You're going to start seeing more and more trucks, electric trucks, at least in America, driving around, right? So that more people will get excited by that and see that there's a business happening there. It's 18 months. I think we're in a different world in 18 months than we are today.
What do you think
Plus
of
if
the
Elon calms down his politics, well, fuck it. He's going to be weird on politics. But
yeah?
Let
What
me,
do you
I'm
what
sorry,
do
let
you?
me, if you don't
No,
mind, I'm
sorry.
sorry, I'll
Go
go
ahead.
2 seconds just to clarify Robert's points. Robert, just focusing solely on Optimus, along the 7-year period,
Oh my
when do you
God.
see it contributing to the stock price, just kind of having a, big enough impact on revenue or excitement or whatever, where, that's what I'm trying to gauge rather than look at the 7-year period in terms of its capabilities at that point.
I think over the next 7 years, you're going to see more and more excitement, or more and more capabilities. Let's put it that way, of the robot. So that gets investors excited. Each time the thing comes out and shows off it can do more things, more people are going to go, oh shit, this Optimus is starting to happen, right? So this is why it's short term. It's hard to gauge what to do. If you're going to only invest in for a month, I don't know what to invest in.
Do you guys
I
think,
can
like,
tell you, hold the stock for a decade, you're going to do fine, right?
yeah? Do you guys think that the California one thing I keep asking myself is, I wonder if the California permitting is going to go okay. Like I think it should be okay, right, for Robotaxi. What do you guys think about that?
Well,
The
Waymo's
permitting.
driving around California, and we all know Tesla's pretty good. And if you say, it still makes mistakes here and there, yeah, it still does once in a while. How long do those mistakes stay in the system? 6 months, 3 months, 8 months, right? It's getting pretty good, even on my Harbor 3 car. I drove me all around San Francisco Bay Area last night. It's pretty good. It does make a mistake here and there, but AI gets rid of mistakes over time, right? That's a huge advantage of Tesla, because they have 10 million vehicles on the road. Let's say 20% of those have FSD, or 15%, whatever the number is. They're adding a lot of data to the system to fix mistakes.
Yeah.
Well, and I can comment, Gothic. I can definitely comment to your question on regulation. So what I can say about the law in the United States is that if there isn't a law against it, it is legal. That's how law works in the United States. And if you look, nobody's written any laws really about self-driving cars. So the self-driving cars, the Robotaxi, I don't think we're going to have any issues with. I think where we come up to some issues is when you look at cybercab and deleting the steering wheel, because even in Texas, there is a little bit of a barrier, and you got to look at every level of government for this. If you look at Texas, it is the state inspection for cars that requires a steering wheel. That's the little speed bump. Everything else allows for no steering wheel. So, when they change or augment that, then we can delete the steering wheel. But Robotaxi currently functions on the Model Y Juniper, and that has a steering wheel. So I think that there isn't really going to be a barrier so much for Robotaxi, because largely it's already legal. I think it's just going to be that steering wheel delete.
Like any kind of capricious litigation, because it's a democratic.
No, and you know what? We can thank Waymo for that, to tell you the truth. I mean, I'm not a fan of Waymo, but I appreciate that they went forward first, because they've already had to deal with all that, and they're operating in a lot of areas without any problems. And there was a comment I wanted to make earlier about the robots. And it's like sometimes people don't like that there's competition or there's other robots out there, but I have to tell you, China putting out the Unitree robot and all these robots is going to push our government to want to beat them, because we are in an AI race with China. And I think that it's actually an advantage to Tesla that these robots are coming out in China, because our leaders are going to see like, oh, China's beating us. And I think they're going to loosen up any barriers there may be for robots. So I think that's actually a positive.
Totally true. I did a lot of consumer research about 12 years ago, going around America asking people, are you willing to get in a car without a steering wheel? And everybody, including in the SF, said, fuck no. It was the most violent no of my career. I study how consumers look at new technology, right? Yet now we have Waymo in San Francisco. I know a guy who's taken a Waymo every day to work for a year and a half already, right? So he's changed as a consumer. He's very willing to buy a car without a steering wheel because he realizes AI has gotten to the place where it's trustworthy and it doesn't kill him on the way to work. And that same change is going to happen to a lot of people as Robotaxi gets expanded to more and more cities over the next 18 months, right? If you try to regulate against autonomous cars, you're going to doom your community to a lot of tragedies. We all know this. FSD is not going to kill a lot of people. It might kill a few, right? It still is early. It still is early days. It still makes a mistake once in a while. Robotaxi in Austin had a minor accident, right? It still will have problems like that, but the mistakes are going to go down over the next 18 months. And so 18 months from now, we're going to have FSD that's very close to perfect, right?
If they issue legislation or rules against Tesla, they would have to do the same to Waymo and to the competition. They can't just like single out. That's grounds for a lawsuit, I think, right? That just,
yeah.
Exactly. I love this so much. The conversation is on fire. Robert is like, everybody go follow him. This is the best. Just calm and peaceful and all the knowledge.
In
Robert,
18 months, we're going to have a cyber cab on streets, right?
Hell yeah.
And so when you start seeing the data from the cyber cab, the cyber cab that doesn't have the steering wheel, if a drunk driver hits you at 80 miles an hour in that car, there's no steering wheel to crush your chest. So they can have a much bigger airbag across the dash in front of you. So it's going to be a safer vehicle when something like that does happen. And that's going to show up in the stats. It might take another year for it to really show up, but it's going to show up. So 36 months from now, we're in a completely different world where people are really starting to accept a car without a steering wheel. I want to buy one in the worst way, by the way, because I'm ready. I'm in. It's like I mean, it does make mistakes still once in a while. So it's like like I said, 18 months solves a lot of problems in AI. Right.
Robert, I have a question for you because I have a wish list for the dev team for FSD, and my biggest item on my wish list is that one of the cars, any of the cars, follow the RV. You have a lot more knowledge in AI. Do you think that that's a feature that we will see, a follow me or a convoy feature that will come out with FSD?
I've heard about that coming for years, so I assume it's coming someday. I think the cars have to start talking with each other, which here in Silicon Valley, like last night, there was 8 Teslas around me on the freeway, right? And if there's a Tesla in front of me imaging the road and it sees a new problem, like a lane closure or a pothole or some object in the road, it could communicate to the Tesla network, hey, there's a ladder in lane number 1. Don't get out of lane number 1 before you get there, right? And so you're going to start seeing Teslas start to operate together. You're going to see those 8 Teslas all of a sudden switch over to lane 3, and you're going to go, what the fuck are all the Teslas doing? And that's going to increase knowledge of the power of the Tesla network as well, particularly in places like Silicon Valley where there's so many Teslas, right? People are going to understand the Teslas are working together. Even if you're driving a gas Toyota, you're going to see Teslas do shit like this, right? And you're going to go, fuck, they're all working together. And then you're going to see a ladder in lane number 1, and all the Teslas went around it automatically, right? And you're going to start realizing you should follow the Teslas and behave the same way as the Teslas do on the road. That's going to create awareness that Teslas are more intelligent than your Toyota gas car, right? And so therefore, the next time you buy a car, are you going to buy another Toyota gas car, or are you going to buy a Tesla? Well, when they're starting to work together like that, that's going to matter. I think that's coming over the next 18 months.
right
I
on.
mean, if the ladder total your ICE car, then you go like, maybe I should buy a Tesla.
Yeah. The other thing to look at is the Waymo versus Tesla. Waymo doesn't have enough cars on the road to have real have this kind of knowledge about the world yet. There's 13 Teslas on my street alone, right? So if you want to know about what's going on my street, Tesla's going to know much more about what's going on in my street than Waymo does. Waymo's not even on my street yet, right? I've never seen a Waymo on my street, but there's 13 Teslas already here. So you start thinking about how fast is the network going to get cars around a city? Well, Tesla knows the best route because it knows where all the road closures are, where the potholes are, where where things are happening in the road. What's the traffic? We're already seeing that happen. My Tesla takes me on weird routes through Silicon Valley that I'd never drive down as a human because it saw a faster way to get around town. Right.
Yeah, and also Waymo, of course, I think most people know this, but Waymo, the cost for the LiDAR tech and just the cost per vehicle is so much more than the Robotaxis. So it's very difficult for them to be financially able to exist.
It's worse than that because Tesla made the customers pay for the R&D. When you bought FSD for $8,000, you're actually paying for the R&D for the AI. So they don't have a big bill to pay back when they turn on the Robotaxi network. We also bought our own cars. Waymo has to pay for those expensive cars. And even if they're cheaper than we're thinking, eventually they'll get cheap. But because the Zeekr company's making the next Waymo, that'll be cheaper. And the LiDARs are coming down in cost. So the cost per car, it doesn't bother me too much. As they scale up, they're going to be able to reduce the cost of their car down to close to what Tesla can cost. Although Tesla's always going to have an advantage because they went with a vision-only approach. Plus, Teslas look better. When you see a Waymo, it looks like a weird dystopian machine. In fact, I've been interviewing a lot of Waymo customers, and they say, "Oh yeah, this thing looks dystopian." A lot of times it's joking, and they got used to it, but it still does look weird with all these LiDARs on the side of the car. Do you want to be in a Waymo or a Tesla?
I really like the way that Robotaxi looks. Oh, by the way,
Gotik,
I
I'm
noticed.
sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I have a question to Robert.
Okay.
For a minute, please. Hey, Robert, this is a rumor or someone manifesting it out loud. Do you think Elon will ever get into drone? This is going to be Tesla drone one day. What do you think?
Ever's a long time, and he's good at making electric motors. And he's good at making AI that can navigate around the world. So it wouldn't shock me if he came out with a drone.
I feel like he's going to make a drone because when I'm down at SpaceX, down at Boca Chica Beach, the SpaceX uses drones. They kind of check everybody out and everything. Like they'll send the drone out and they'll see what we're doing at Cyber Beach and stuff. So, he's using drones at least at SpaceX. So I wouldn't be surprised if perhaps SpaceX gets into drones.
And drone delivery is going to be a deal. And if you live in Shanghai right now, you can get shit delivered by drones already. America needs the same thing. Who's going to be best positioned to do that?
Yes.
Oh, who has a Robotaxi network that can get things close to your house, right? And have a drone in the back of a cyber truck, pick up a package and put it in your backyard. Yeah, Tesla seems pretty well positioned there. And we haven't even started thinking about acquisitions. Tesla could buy Zipline, for instance, that's doing that, right? And all of a sudden they have a drone company. There's a lot of things.
Acquisitions. Robert, the acquisition I want to see, I got to tell you. So listen, long duration energy storage, it uses a lot of battery power, and there's a limited amount of LFP batteries that we have. Like that's kind of the limiting factor. Elon's talked about it quite a bit. About the refined lithium, and I think that's the holdup with the truck, the semi, is that you just need such a large battery pack. So it's like, how do we free up more of the LFP batteries where they're needed, because they're needed in like lightweight things that move. But long duration energy storage does not move, and it does not need to be lightweight. And there are some great companies out there that have different battery chemistries that Tesla could acquire, and then they could use that battery chemistry and they could free up all their LFP. So I'm just saying, it'd be great if they bought one of these little battery companies, because they're still cheap, but they're not going to stay cheap.
Well, who owns a LFP battery manufacturing plant? Tesla does in America. There's no other.
I know, but I'm saying free up the LFP, like go with
I think that'll
battery
help.
chemistry, because there's a zinc battery chemistry, like EOS has a zinc chemistry for long duration energy storage. So if Tesla were to purchase that, and full disclosure, I'm a shareholder, but because I'm in energy, but if Tesla bought them and used their zinc chemistry, then they could free up all the LFP that they're currently using for Megapack, switch the battery chemistry for that, and that would free up a lot of LFP to make some of these more battery heavy products like Semi and the new Roadster.
Yeah. Having more batteries is a good thing for Tesla Corporation.
Hey, Smokey, what up?
Hey, so I just want to speak on that real quick. I'm glad you asked that question, actually. I don't think he's going to get into drones, and I'll give him my case point of why. I believe there's plenty of good companies that are already just dominating the drone scene, and I think he's friends with most of them. Palmer Luckey is one of them, and Andrew. And when you look at it, his focus and his vision are not really in the drone sector. Not to mention, typically, 90% of the drone, in my opinion, 90% of the drone evolution that we're seeing now is for defense sector. And Elon's spoken out publicly that he does not support war. So I don't see him going down that route personally. But I think he's going to be obviously partnering up with people. As we were talking about, he's got the new facility to make batteries. I could see that being a possibility. Or as Jennifer said, I mean, it could be an acquisition thing. It's possible.
Yeah, like another thing that Elon said that he might do is get into like smartphones. If Android and iPhone kind of drop the ball, but I guess they haven't really, like, he didn't get into it. I think Tom Lee even mentioned in a recent interview, like, it might be quite successful if Tesla got into that, so there's a lot of interesting ventures. Of course, there's always
in 10 years, are people using more phone or less phone?
I think in 10 years, it might even be like possibly Neuralink might. I don't know if Neuralink will scale.
That's what Elon answers every time I ask him about phone or glasses. He's like, Neuralink, right? The dude thinks a lot longer term than most of us do. I can never get ahead of Elon, right? Because he's thinking in 20 to 40 years out.
Yeah.
In 10 years, we're going to have a lot more glasses that are going to be really, really good in 10 years, right? And you're going to not be looking at your phone as much. You might still have a phone on you in 10 years because that's where the computers are and the radios and all that. The glasses are going to come on pretty strong. Watch what Meta is going to announce in October. Google already announced theirs, but hasn't announced a shipping date. They're coming next year, probably. Snap has glasses. Apple's working on glasses, but are slow and don't have a good AI model right now. But 3 years solves that problem, right?
Yeah.
I have to say, I just don't see Neuralink going mainstream for quite some time. And the reason I say that, I'm not saying it's a bad product at all. I think it's amazing. It's going to change a lot of lives. Yeah. And it's precisely for that, because he's going to change a lot of lives first. So I don't see there being a consumer product anytime soon, because there's going to be a medical product first. And then also the barrier of, like, do people really want to have implants? I think after COVID, people are very distrustful of, medical interventions like that. So I think it's just going to take time of us seeing Neuralink improving lives and fixing some major medical issues for a while before healthy people opt in to a brain implant.
If this was a perfect world, though, you could see a pair of glasses with some Neuralink sensors on the back, on the sides of the glasses, to do a variety of things. I've been wearing there's a company in Boston making strips that go behind your ears, and it makes a flight simulator a lot more enjoyable because the strips can make you lean left or right or feel thrust in a flight simulator, for instance, and fix a bunch of other problems. Like if you get car sick, it can fix that problem as well. Or
I
VR
love
sick.
a wearable. I love a wearable. I think an implant's that's a hard hurdle, but I didn't even think about a wearable coming from Neuralink. That's a fascinating thought, Robert. Thank you.
Yeah, because they understand the human mind at a very deep level, right? And so they can bring out a variety of products that don't have to do with putting wires on your brain. That could do a variety of things. Mark Zuckerberg in October is going to announce a new armband that listens to electricity going down your hand to your fingers, right? So you think about shooting a gun in a video game, it's going to be a lot more enjoyable with that armband on. Controlling a 3D environment. If you use an Apple Vision Pro and you have these big virtual screens in front of you, clicking like on a X post is a little pain in the ass because the camera that sees your finger isn't perfect, and having such an armband on would make it more perfect to manipulate a 2D, even a 2D screen and space around you. This is why Zuckerberg is going to announce this thing with the glasses, right?
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I just wanted to give a shout out to JC. I really love your videos on YouTube for the full self-driving. I watch those a lot, JC. I think they're really great videos. Just want to give a shout out, man. Cool bits.
Thanks so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
See what up?
Hey, I just wanted to add on to that point also, what Jennifer was talking about earlier with, I don't see it going mainstream anytime soon either. This isn't like a product that you can just like make work. It's a very user like intensive, every single implant will be unique. Like not everybody's brain is exactly the same. So that's the one thing that's going to slow that down, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, to Robert's point though, like a wearable really changes that significantly. Like if you asked me today, like if I could have superhuman powers, but I would need to have a brain implant, I would be like, you know what, I'm good. But if you told me that I could put little strips behind my ears or maybe like a headphone that plays binaural beats and can hack my brain, you know what? I'm much more interested at that point, and I think a lot of people will be.
By the way, there's another company coming out with a hat with 70,000 sensors on it, so it doesn't put wires inside your head, and it does a lot of what the current Neuralink does. So we're going to see a lot of different approaches to brain-computer interfaces over the next decade, right? And Neuralink should be a player in all that over the next decade. There's a lot of things Neuralink could do with sensors and with ability to shove electricity into your brain that don't require you to get surgery and put wires on your brain. And I would expect that Neuralink's R&D in that area will pay dividends in a number of different products.
Because it's an AI challenge. Like it's a challenge perfect for AI. That the first time they implanted Neuralinks or whatever, you put external sensors, and what you get from the brain is some sort of like you turn on the TV and there's no channel, like it's like big noise. And AI with trial and error, you do a training run. It's personalized per person, but then you apply some of that learning on the noise, then you can make sense of the noise and it becomes useful.
Yeah, one thing I saw, and maybe some of you guys saw this too in the Neuralink presentation they made like a week and a half ago, was that before in the prior Neuralink machine, they weren't able to implant into the vast majority of the population because of like the depth of insertion. And so they changed that. So right now, I believe it's compatible with 99% of the human population in terms of the depth of insertion of the threads. So they're making a lot of progress on compatibility. But yeah, I definitely think like, I think, to Jennifer's point, I think like the efficacy of this system, once people can see it, in a similar way that people are more accepting now of Waymos or Robotaxis, and just more trusting of getting in such a vehicle. I think once people can see it And if it's safe, and if there aren't that many interventions, or in the case of Neuralink, side effects, if the threads are inserted and say there's like a medical indication or something like that, anything related to side effects, I think it might be better. But yeah, there's going to be a long time before we get there, though. It'll take quite a while for sure.
I think honestly the wearable will be the win, because they're going to take what they're learning right now, and they're going to be able to make that wireless. When you're looking at it, all brain signal is, at its nuts and bolts, it's just electricity and its frequency. So once they figure out what frequency and what signal coming from your brain, they can just use that wirelessly, the same as we can do with any other signal in the world. It's radio signals basics. They just need to decode it first.
Yeah, I think this is getting kind of into the weeds, but I think one issue might be like the signal to noise ratio, because if you have a system that isn't doing direct reads of neuronal activity with the threads, if it's outside of the skull, then there might be a bit of noise in the signal they receive. But I definitely think, like general stimuli, right? Like if you want to do some action, and if it's a high magnitude of action, like on or off, yes or no, certain actions like that, I certainly think that's definitely very possible. Yeah, I think that could be done. I think, yeah.
I would agree, because when you look at it, it's the signal strength that is going to win over the noise, because there's always going to be noise, but that's where the AI comes in. It's going to figure out the strength and the actual signal from the noise. Everywhere is a wave. That's how I look at tech and life. If you look at it, everything has a frequency, everything has a wave. Everything, even you.
But like implementing controlling a mouse, or like a 3D 6-axis mouse, that becomes a lot of different levers. It's not just an on and off button. And you're talking about multiple axes, multiple yes and no that are simultaneous, or just doing something as simple as controllability. Like you're adding 3 layers of what's pressed and not pressed. You could still do that externally, but to go further, you would need neurons, like the implants that can get a much finer brain signal to do something way more complex than less than 5 or 10 output ideas.
Well, I think that's what's going to drive it, to tell you the truth, Michael, is that's what's going to drive people adopting the actual implant, is when they're using products like, let's suppose they do make some wearables, which would be amazing. And like, you can do so much with your wearables, and people get like used to the wearables and they really like them. And then the only way to upgrade to anything better is to get the implant, and people start getting it, So I think that's probably going to be like the segue that we see, is when because it's like boiling a frog. We got to wade into it a little slowly, because right now, if you ask anybody, they're really resistant to it. But I'll tell you, once they get them toys and they're like, what? I can have like superhuman everything.
People said like, I'm not going to get a cell phone. And then 2 years later, I might get a dumb one. And then right now they have like an iPhone now.
Nice. Loving it. Thank you so much, everyone. Me and Pejjy decided to make it go another 30 minutes because the conversation on fire. Love it. Make me smarter. No problem. The drone gonna be money printing machine. Neuralink fixing people up if you got a stroke. Hey, we have wearable, or let's put a chip in your head, and then your arm can move again. That will be bonker. And this is for fun, just for fun. People who lost their arm or their leg, people who lost their limbs, if they can have Tesla bot, Optimus arm or Optimus leg, man, that is so fun. When is it, Robert? You think what I say gonna become true? When is it gonna become true? What do you think?
I don't know. I met Hugo Hur at MIT Media Labs. He lost his legs in a climbing accident, makes robotic legs now. He says his legs are better than mine. I'm still not willing to cut mine off to get his, but it's a intriguing proposal.
I look at that. It's especially in my community. I don't really typically give too much of my personals, but in the military community, that's so huge. So many people have lost their legs to IEDs and other bullshit. And now this is going to enable them to get their fucking life back. And for me, that is the number one thing I love about Neuralink. Let's fucking go.
I
It's
agree.
File, you make a really good point, and I really didn't even think about it. But, Tesla is making huge strides in robotics. They had to make a lot of their components, and they're doing great. I mean, the dexterity of the hand is really phenomenal. And so I could see at some point them manufacturing like human-sized parts, not just Tesla, like Optimus-sized parts. The barrier that I see is that all Optimi, that's my plural for the Optimus, all the Optimi, they're all the same size, and humans aren't. That might be a little bit of a barrier. Is like you got to make the arms the same length, to replace like the old arms. So, but I could see it. Like I could definitely see it, Fawn. I wasn't thinking that before you said it. So thanks for saying that.
More seriously, there's millions of people in America that have bad knees. The Optimus is going to dramatically reduce their suffering when it comes. And so, there's just so many paths for the future of Tesla as they expand their robotics efforts and build systems that can run different kinds of robotics.
See, that's the beauty of
Robert, speak.
No, sorry, I just want to say that that's the beauty about, being involved or being invested in Elon's companies is that there's an ecosystem outside of Tesla, which is like other Elon's companies, like Tesla and Neuralink with their Optimus in the future, SpaceX and Tesla, X.AI, Grok, all these things. This is the only, I don't know any other company that has this advantage that kind of Tesla has, that it can connect with so many other companies. It's like a web. It's insane. And we will see the value of this as we continue to go in the future. And I think this is very underappreciated for most people that don't know about it. But once this becomes a main thing, people can see what's going on. I think this will be one big value that everyone's going to appreciate in the future.
I saw Wes hand up and JC hand up, but JC hand down now. All right, Wes.
Gotcha, JC. Hey, so a few years ago, I saw some drones in a video that were flying over farmland, and they were kind of going back and forth in a pattern to cover what seemed to be every square inch. And I realized then that, Tesla is definitely poised to get in the drone business. I know Smokey mentioned a moment ago that his opinion is that Elon probably wouldn't for a variety of reasons, and that may be true. But we certainly have everything to do this. What I saw when I saw those drones is that these people are using some artificial intelligence. And look, if anybody's got great artificial intelligence, it's us. We also have the manufacturing capabilities, clearly. And, we could launch some kind of outside of Tesla, type of thing. But what I really think is important is, when we think about transportation, when we think about cars a lot, I truly believe we're going to go to a VTOL type of transportation system at some point. So rather than kind of 2D transportation on the ground, drones are kind of like a small VTOL, right? Like a VTOL with a person in it, vertical takeoff and landing, something that go up and down and fly at various heights and stuff. It's just like a drone, but a big one. So I think that even if we don't get in the drone business specifically, I do think on the roadmap, we'll see VTOL with Tesla.
Did an Archer Aviation, which Figure's founder started, right? It could. I talked to the founder of Archer, and they have to put a pilot in their vehicle right now because the regulation doesn't allow for totally autonomous flight yet. But in the next 10 years, they're expecting the regulations to change about that. When that does, that opens up new market for Tesla to get into. And certainly if, let's say it's 5 years from now and Robotaxi is in almost every city in the world, that starts becoming a very viable business model to put into the Robotaxi network to let you drive to a city center, go to a skyscraper, go up to the top of the skyscraper, and then take a flying vehicle home or something like that. That changes America very deeply. Sebastian Thrun, who started the Waymo company, actually started a VTOL company, went out of business because the business needs regulation change and to make this kind of thing possible. But when the regulation does change, you could live in Merced, California, where a house is $500,000, fly into San Francisco where you can have a high-paying job, and fly home. It takes 20 minutes for a flying craft to get from like Merced to San Francisco, which would take your Tesla 2 to 3 hours to do on the ground. So you start, if the regulation changes, and I predict it will sometime in the next decade, that opens up new business capabilities. But now you're playing the real long-term game, right? It's like, okay, 10, 15, 20
Robert,
years.
you need a robotaxi to get to and from the launching landing pads on both ends, and that completes the door-to-door transportation.
Yeah. Once Robotaxi gets built, it opens up these new business ideas of having flying vehicles taking you in various places.
Well, and also we can break away from GPS with the Starlink satellite network. I was in space last night with Smokey and some others, and one of the commenters said that, and Smokey brought up the same point, that about what seems to be 74% of the satellites that are out there now are Starlink. And so, VTOL and Starlink should be able to work together. I'm a former air traffic controller, and you guys have probably heard, this is way back in the day in the Air Force, by the way, so not recent, but you guys probably heard how antiquated the air traffic control system is. And I think all this ties together in the same way I was mentioning Starlink and VTOL. We really need to use artificial intelligence to separate vehicles in the air more intelligently than we currently do. The way they do it now is 1,000 feet between aircraft when you're going over or under somebody, and until you're at 18,000 feet, and anything above that, it's 2,000 square feet. Maybe that sounds small because these things are moving quickly, but when you think about putting AI in place, we could probably separate planes and sequence them in VTOL very effectively using AI. You know what I mean? As long as each vehicle or aircraft can see through some form, maybe radar or otherwise, other vehicles themselves. So not relying on a ground operation like the FAA's air traffic system.
Makes sense.
Jobs actually killed my point, and I was about to make that Archer's about to lead that, I think, because of that reason. Good job, Scopes. Love you.
I get around.
For 1 second, I would like to do the housekeeping. Everybody here on the speaker panel is very, very knowledge. Scobo, please give him a thumb up, subscribe, whatever method it is, go follow him, watch this video. I'm so grateful that you pop in today's Robert. This is amazing. Thank you. And
Thanks.
every time you listen to Robert, it's decrease your panic. Your panic mode just gets smaller and smaller. This is a sound wisdom.
Instead of
And
following me, go follow my list. I've built lists of neuroscientists, of roboticists, of everybody in the tech industry, security people, certainly 28,000 people in AI. It's like listening to a football stadium full of smart people.
whoa, thank you for your service, Robert, I will do that. And here, Robotaxi is here. Even Elon said something a little weird, like American Party, but Robotaxi is here. We're not gonna leave. And I'm so excited for Robotaxi in Bay Area. Robert, do you have the insight? Do you know where they're gonna start?
The big fish is Shanghai.
Hmm.
That's what's going to cause the pop because the Chinese market is so huge. There's 10 cities bigger than New York in China. So you think of that's a huge market, and that's going to be driving our stock for decades.
Holy moly, you're right. So FSC is now working in China, in
Yes.
all the China, all the country,
Yeah.
not just like Austin and San Francisco, all of it. Oh,
The gold the cyber cab was gold. Why is it gold? To make an homage to taxis, but the Chinese are freaking crazy about gold.
Right.
So who wants
Oh,
if Shanghai turns on, who's not going to use it?
And like
right.
regulatory approval in China is going to be binary countrywide, not just like city by city or state by state experience. That's like 12 works of asterisks to go through, like getting something approved nationwide, even just in the US. In China, I guess is as when they say it's all right, go ahead. You have a solid green light. That's not just like a
Yeah, that's why I don't worry about California. Like, do I think that there's some bad actors that are in the state legislature of California? Obviously, but look at it this way: if you have Robotaxi launching in China, which just like Michelle said, is going to be binary all over the country, just like FSD did. And then let's get even more embarrassing for the state of California. If you tell a kid coming out of Palo Alto, coming out of Stanford, well, if you really want to work on the most real world AI, we're going to send you to Henderson, Nevada and Jacksonville, Florida. And if you want to work on the most cutting edge real world AI, you're going to be getting that couple to their Leonard Skinner concert down in Jacksonville, Florida. Sorry, you got to leave California to do it. I mean, that if that doesn't embarrass the state legislature or the authorities in California, I don't know what else would.
You got to come to San Francisco. There's Waymos everywhere. So tell me again, you're going to regulate against autonomous vehicles?
Yeah, that was a real concern that I had, JC, was that California, because I kept thinking like Newsom and the Democrats, or there might be some kind of anti-Elon thing, but I don't think they can do that. And the more and more I talk to people on these spaces and talk to people on X, I just feel like the permits will come, and we're gonna get rolled out in California without too many issues. I do believe that.
Yeah, I don't worry about it at all. I mean, there's going to be some knuckleheads in Sacramento and certain cities. I have zero worry about getting permitted and going to California, and it needs to be there. Like, I'll say this as a Texan, I love California. It's the most beautiful state in our country. I go there multiple times a year for vacation. My wife's family is originally from the Long Beach area down in the southern part of the LA area. I love that place. It's it is the place where this all began. So I just don't see a handful. Well, there's more than a handful, but some knuckleheads in Sacramento who hate Elon slowing this thing down. Just like Robert said, I mean, they would literally have to throw Waymo under the bus in order to do it.
They'd have to throw their own citizens under the bus. 40,000 people in America die in car wrecks every year. Every time we slow down Robotaxi or FSD, we're dooming our own citizens to having tragedies in our community. And we're also putting ourselves at a huge disadvantage to China. You want to keep your economy productive and see GDP going up. You trying to hold back robotics is going to doom your country to being a second water citizen to China, which it already sort of is. But we need to at least put an effort into competing.
Yeah, and one thing I would say about Neuralink as well, while I've got the mic, is I get it. We're talking about something being inserted in you versus wearable. I'm gonna tell you, as somebody who I watched my father pass away from Alzheimer's, and I saw the entire spectrum of it go from him just becoming forgetful to it just being an absolute nightmare for the last couple of years of his life. If somebody had told me back then, 15 years ago, before he passed, hey, there's this thing, I would have taken a fucking saw myself and sawed into my dad's brain, put that thing in there, and told everybody who said that I don't want anybody get the fuck away from me, or I'm going to take this saw and put it upside your head. Believe me, with the amount of neurological disorders that people see their parents and grandparents go through in this country year after year, there will be zero. I mean, zero. And I live in Texas. Like, this is ground zero for like COVID, you know what? You know, I joke with people, they say COVID. I was like, what was that? I don't know what that is, because we barely had it down here, right? But I'm telling you, there are a ton, those same people, if they were told that this chip could help your father or help your grandfather or help
help
your
you.
grandma or help you, you're not going to hesitate one iota.
No, that's true. If you have a medical reason to get one, you're going to get one real fast, right? I spend a lot of time in old folks' homes. It's one reason I'm so pro spatial computing, because we're all going to end up in a home like this someday, right? And it's dismal. It's dismal because you're sharing a room with another human being. You have no privacy. There's a lot of machines beeping and dinging all night long. Can't get any sleep. And there's a small little TV on the wall. You put on a Vision Pro, you get a big fucking TV, and you get to watch what you want to watch, or play your video games, or play with your grandkids who can't come and see you all the time, right? So you're going to get these technologies because it's going to improve the end of your life as well. You're right on point.
Yeah, I also think like it could help with the medical costs too, right? Because we have the medical costs that we have in this country is so high, just for especially like people that are on AARP or Medicare. I think that could really help with costs too for a medical system.
The medical system is, I toured a company here in Silicon Valley called Sully AI. They're building AI for hospitals. It's going to dramatically reduce the cost of our healthcare system and make it better for all of us. It can answer the phones, right? So you call up your healthcare provider, you want to talk to somebody, you might be talking to an AI soon. And that's going to decrease the cost of the healthcare system and make it better, because now your nurse doesn't have to be on the phone all day long. They can be paying attention to you as a patient, right?
Yeah, like any way they can cut out the human element of always having to have supervision or hospice. I guess that would be a real cost savings there. Yeah.
This is why I'm still pro Palantir, by the way. I know the head of AI at Coca-Cola, he says they're evaluating Palantir. They haven't yet put it in place because they have such a big business around the world that they move slow, right? Palantir, when it does get into a company like Coca-Cola, it tells the executives every fucking thing about their business and makes it more efficient, makes it more agile, makes it able to move faster to new market changes, right? And so AI is going to come for every industry, and is. It's going to keep speeding up as it gets better, right? And we're seeing it's getting better. So if you don't use AI in your business today, 18 months, maybe 36 months, probably 54 months. If you're not using it, you're an idiot.
Right.
No, that's a very good point. And I just wanted to go back to the traffic, to Robert's point about fatalities with cars. And it's going to be very interesting to see how Robotaxi, as it expands in Austin, how it affects the traffic data in Austin. Because I would love to see, and I think we are going to see this, fatalities go down, and also maybe traffic be alleviated a little bit. Like, Austin is a growing city. It is constantly under construction, and the traffic can be like horrendous sometimes. But if we have more and more cars that are driving themselves, and it's not humans just making emotional decisions, that it's cars doing the most efficient thing, we're going to see a lot of traffic alleviation. But I'm telling you, the death count is going to make a big difference. And that is what's going to push it to every city, because I guarantee you, we are going to see a drop in fatalities in Austin with the rise of Robotaxi.
I
You
agree with that. Yeah.
Like people won't be on their phones, their cars will be driving them, so they won't be sitting at a red light for 2 minutes when it turned green a minute ago.
Yeah.
Oh my God, are people hanging out in the left lane? Oh, I can't even tell you how much that drives me nuts, because we all know I drive a little fast. And so I'm always like, get out of my way. And there's always somebody that wants to hold up traffic. They think they're your dad. They're like, I'm going to make you drive the speed limit. I'm like, sir, move to the right, and we won't have that issue anymore. And I'm really
I don't know.
looking
My
forward to
Tesla
it.
only does 79 in the fast lane, right? So it's holding everybody behind me who wants to do 90. It actually is changing the freeways here in Silicon Valley already, because there's so many Teslas that everybody's doing 79.
But they're all doing 79 consistently. It's
Yeah.
not like, because you get rid of some of these traffic jams where like someone's not paying attention, or maybe someone is under the effects of medication, even prescription medications, or they're in like emotional or mental distress. They're not paying attention. They're looking at their phone. I mean, there's so many things that are not going to be happening on the road anymore, because all I see when I drive, and y'all know I drive a lot, I see people just looking at their phone. Just no one is paying attention. Like,
In
I'm
a gas
surprised there
car,
are not.
right?
Huh?
In a gas car, right?
I
In a
know,
Toyota
yeah,
or
in
a
gas cars,
Ford or something.
exactly. It's just freaking crazy. It's everybody, and then they're not paying attention. So the cars are going to pay attention for us. It's going to be easier, even without the tunnels. And I can't wait till the damn boring tunnels come. But even without the tunnels, FSD is going to make traffic like much more bearable just by being efficient.
I'm going to give a counterpoint to that, because as Robotaxi rolls out and Waymo, we're going to use cars for a lot more things. For instance, if we're in a world of 10 years from now, when we have Optimus as part of this, we're going to send our Optimus to Home Depot to go pick up a screwdriver, right? We're going to use transportation for a lot more things, because transportation 10 years from now is going to be a lot cheaper than driving it yourself. So that when things get cheaper, humans use them more, right? It's basic economics.
Oh God,
strategy.
it's going to be the grocery stores. Robert, have you been in a grocery store lately?
I have. I still go to a grocery store once in a while.
I do too. I pick out my own groceries, but you know what I noticed is there's not only are they stocking shelves during the day, but you've got the people that are fulfilling all the grocery orders, because so many people are ordering their groceries, and they block the aisle with their giant, cart that they have with the multi-levels. And it's made grocery shopping a little harder, because the grocery store's so much more busy because they're fulfilling these orders. So I mean, that's a good point, that maybe traffic is going to get a little more annoying. But I think by the time that happens, hopefully we've got Proof Rock, making
I
some
can just
tunnels
see
for us.
8 years from now, Tesla automatic shopping is coming. Oh, we'll do your shopping for you at the grocery store, and there'll be an Optimus at the grocery store putting your groceries into a cyber cab or a cyber truck or something like that, and driving it to your house, right?
You know why it's going to be better? You know why I don't order my groceries? Because the grocery fulfiller people, they do not pick out the produce the way I would. And they don't go for the alternate stuff that I would go for. And if I can teach my robot, like if I can take my Optimus robot and I can just tell them this is what I like, and it eternalizes it, then it's like sending myself to the grocery store, which is what we're missing right now. And I think you're right. More people are going to be using their personalized robots that are going to do it their way. They're going to do it their way.
The multimodal models can already pick out a good ripe watermelon for you. So soon your robot's going to be better at picking out ripe watermelons than you are.
I can already tell. I'm gonna be good with version 1. Jennifer may need version
9. That's fair. That's very fair.
At Microsoft, we always said the one you want is version 3.
Yeah, I'm going to want to teach my robot stuff, because think about it. There's a lot of wives that are going to agree with me on this. They like their towels folded a certain way. You fold your laundry a certain way or whatever. You have ways that you like things being done. This is going to alleviate a lot of marital disputes, because the Optimus will just do it the way that she wants it. It's going to be great for everyone.
Who
Or the
had,
Optimus will be at the bar with you. Like, why did you marry this woman?
You already can do that. Go open up Grok Unhinged on your phone, and you can talk to it all day long about your problems.
Okay, this is so much fun. We have a few speakers here that been here quite some time and not speak yet. Hello, Brandon.
Hello, everybody. I just wanted to come on here just really quickly and just say I'm so grateful. I say this every week, but you guys keep me so bullish. Literally, I just keep doing everything in my power to accumulate more shares, and like I mean, it's not a problem. Like, I don't think it's a problem, but like literally, like I just go to work, get money, and I pay my bills, and I put everything else into the stock market. And I've just been doing that
That's
for
the way
like,
to do it, man. DCA, DCA, DCA. Keep going, man. Keep going.
yeah, and like just listening to you guys with every speaker that has come on for the past 2 hours, like literally just adds to my conviction, and I'm just so grateful just to be able to have like a awesome community that's knowledgeable and that is like able to just see everything in this long term, like 5, 10, 20 year uh time frame, and like it's just like we're just getting started, and Grok is now coming to Teslas. Oh, one thing that I did want to say, Far, I don't know when you got your Tesla. I think you said like 2021, but you may have an AMD Model Y, because I feel like most of the Model Ys are, especially if you bought, I think you bought yours like at the peak price, which is 2022. You may have AMD chip, so you may be getting Grok, so you may not be like counted out. But yeah, but overall, I just wanted to just say like thanks, and like you guys are so awesome. And I already sold my house. I already started to rent, and like I've been just doing my best, like just paying my bills, like living below my means and dollar cost averaging. And just like if I have any excess, like if I have an extra $300 at the end of the month, hey, why don't you just buy some like Tesla? And like it's been doing well for me. Like, but anyway, yeah, that's all. Thank you.
I'm in the same situation, Brandon. I could have bought a house. I moved to North Carolina, and I could have bought a home here. The prices were a little inflated. I moved back in 2022, and I just thought, why don't I just rent? Why don't I just rent? And I just decided to rent. I got a small place in Winston-Salem, and I love it here. And I'm so glad I didn't have the capital loss as if I had bought a home, because the amount of capital gain increase, the capital appreciation that I had from that potential, sale is tremendous compared to, the loss would have been far greater if I had bought the home, especially too early, so that's smart. That's smart. You did a good thing there in that you didn't, and that you have because a lot of people say that renting is it is a little bit inefficient and you might have a loss there. But I'll tell you, like if the market, especially in this AI boom, and in this upcoming Tesla boom we're going to have very soon here, there's so much capital appreciation potential that it makes a lot of sense to just simply hold off on buying a house, until you're really sure about that. So yeah, that's good.
You guys are hilarious because my house, my last house is currently on the market. So if everybody would pray that it sells ASAP, because I really want to YOLO it into Tesla, like the other houses got YOLO'd into Tesla. Because I agree, sometimes that's a really great option. You just have to figure out what works best for you. But what I can say is that anybody who overspends or spends beyond their means is just robbing themselves. Like you don't have to worry about someone else robbing you, you're robbing yourself. So, really budgeting and being wise about your expenses and having a surplus, no matter how, you have to make it happen, and then investing that money into assets. Like it really makes a huge difference. You may not feel it today, but you will feel it in 10 years. So, if you do nothing today other than look at your spending and make a budget and see where you can cut, like you'd be surprised how much you can give your future self.
I'll
Yeah.
say I'll say this. Forget the U.S. market, forget the Chinese market. If we can get FSD and robotaxis into India, bro, that's like
Yeah, man.
it's game over. Just imagine getting robotaxis FSD up and running in India. That would be like probably one of the most hardest thing that anybody can do. If you could do it, if Tesla does it, oh my God. That's
It's
all I
like the
gotta
end of the
say.
Illuminati. That's
It's
like
like
that
stop for the
like the
cow.
yeah, like the part of that movie where Scarlett Johansson sees Lucy. That's like everything just kind of ends right there. We're done.
Yeah, it's for me, I think it's possible because they could do it in China, and China driving is better there. But I mean, it's not, it's a third world country still. But India, oh my God, that is like the true challenge, and I'm really looking forward to that. I think they're launching in what 3 days there, 2 days, no 3 days, yeah, in India. And I do think, I mean, I am going to predict that the affordable models may debut there, maybe. I have a feeling that they may do it. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But
That'd be awesome.
that would be really awesome if they do that. Maybe, depending what would the consumer think in the US and other parts of the countries. They go like, wait a minute, hold on. They do have the affordable model. You know what? I'll lay off my Model 3 and Y. I don't know. But they're launching in what, 3 days? I think the project here, it is to get FSD up and running in India, because that's what Tesla's trying to achieve all across the board. So I'm very curious to see on how they're going to do it in India. And man, I'm not going to say F because I saw how they do it in China. It's a matter of when. If they can solve it, when they solve this thing in India, dude, it's over. It's a sheesh moment. That's all I got to say.
Hey guys, I have to run, but I just wanted to say thank you to Fa and Pejjy for hosting this space every week. I really appreciate it. I'm so happy to be able to be attending it again. This was amazing today. Thank you to all the speakers. I just want to remind everybody to follow all the speakers. Use these spaces as a way to connect with other people that are interested in things that you're interested in. So I just want to thank everybody, but I got to run. I got another space I got to go do. So I love you all, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Take care, Jennifer. Thank you for coming.
Bye-bye. The cheaper model, the sub 30 model, whatever people say, Model 2, Model Q, if it's come out, it's another market that Tesla didn't touch yet. And I'm talking from my hometown, small people in Asia. We're not that big. We look at Model Y, it's like too big. We look at Model 3, it's like comfortable. And if it's something a little smaller, more compact, because our street is small over there, I think people are gonna buy it a lot, hand over fist. And then I hear Farsad say somewhere when Robotaxi come online, he say, if people get in the Robotaxi and there's a banner or something in the app say, you can own this car and it can go earn for you. That is gonna be another big hit because people are gonna be like, I want to own this thing. And when I'm not using it, it's gonna go earn money for me. And I think probably high probability they're gonna do that in the cheaper model too, right? If the cheaper car come out, they're gonna have full self-driving too, and they can go be in the Robotaxi network too. So that is gonna be a lot of money printing too. What do you all think?
Hell yeah.
I don't know if they announced anything about that yet, right? About the lower cost model. I think did they have that in their last shareholder deck? I tried looking for that.
No, they just said that they're on track on the first on production on the first half
Oh
of
yeah,
2025.
okay.
That's all they said.
Yeah, I remember that they said they were going to be on track. Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense for them to release it because I think in Q3 we're going to have a lot of vehicle deliveries, a lot of vehicle sales because the EV credit's going to go away, and I think people want to capitalize on that. And I think it doesn't make sense for Tesla to release the affordable models because essentially the affordable models are what the prices are for the Model 3 and Y. Just when you deduct credits, the EV credits. So when that goes away in end of Q3, it makes sense for Tesla to show it or debut it in Q4. So it's like, hey, you missed on the EV credit. Don't worry, we have the affordable models now, which is pretty much the same price as what it would be after the EV credits, but without the EV credits.
Yeah, and Pejjy, Tesla also recently mentioned that in light of the Canadian tariffs, they had a really agile strategy. They were going to lower the pricing for their Canadian vehicles as well, right? So I kind of feel like because they're so agile in their and they understand that certain customers want to be able to afford their cars, maybe they might just launch their more affordable vehicle when the EV credit comes to an end. That would be just great because then that would really align with their affordability model.
Yeah, no, that'd be good. And in Canada, oh my God, I think a Model Y goes for like 90 grand Canadian, which is just absolutely crazy because of tariffs, right? We have tariffs now. So that's insane. Man, I did not vote for the Liberals, but oh well. It is what it is.
All right, everyone. I love the space today. My kid is wake up screaming in his crib right now. I got to run. Thank you for all the speaker. Thank you for all the listener. See you next Saturday. Bye.
Awesome space. Thank you guys. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Christopher. Thank you,
Thank
Smokey,
you.
and everyone. Wiz, Gothic, Xander, everybody. Thank you so much. This was awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Come back next week. Bye bye. Thank you, Robert.
Sheesh. Oh my God. That was probably one of the nicest spaces I've witnessed in a long time. That was actually really good. I would love to talk about some of the stuff, but man, it's like almost 1 a.m. here and I gotta get to bed. So please do me a favor, guys. Smash that like button. Please go back and just listen to some of the things that has been said in this space. In this space. There's a lot of interesting things, especially when Robert spoke. Awesome things. So please smash that like button, hit subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. And of course, spaces again next week, every week on Saturdays. Take care. Sheesh. See you guys.